here we are again. We can look at all of the resorts throughout the state here who've announced. As you can see, places like Solitude and other areas going into May. So yeah, we've still got a season left here, but we're winding down, and a lot of folks shifting their focus to the spring warmth and how we want to enjoy it in our valleys. Great shot coming out of Cedar City. Thank you to Phoenix Hemsworth for sharing the sunset tonight. 8 p.m. for that sunset. Monumental. Okay, we did see some winds, and tonight we have elevated particulate matter holding on. Hazy appearance for our valleys. If you looked at any of the cameras earlier, we've got elevated particulate matter in Box Elder, Weber, Davis, Salt Lake, Tooele County, Utah County, and even the Wasatch back in Wasatch County. Also tonight, Uinta, Duchesne, Carbon, and Grand County with the elevated PMs. The winds relaxing, but those dust and dirt particles hanging out in the air. We don't have wet weather to clear them either, folks. So we look at the satellite radar, we see that westerly flow. Our ridge of high pressure was flattened as a cold front moved through, trailing little disturbance this evening, and that's going to switch the wind direction. It was very westerly throughout the day. It's going to become northwesterly overnight and into tomorrow. Great shot from the state capitol. That is really, really pretty, Brandon. Gosh, that's a good one. And if you're up near the capitol, the cherry blossoms are in bloom. It has been stunning, and I have a feeling it's going to be a very busy spot over the next 3 days because temperatures are above average. We saw that today too, 66 for that high in Salt Lake. 70s in Wendover, Milford, Cedar City. Look, Logan, Salt Lake matching the temperature, 75 in Moab, 83 in St. George, running about 5 to 8 degrees above seasonal averages. In St. George, 10 degrees above normal. So that front impacting northern and central Utah. Into tonight, 55 as we close out the news. Partly cloudy skies. We're going to see those temperatures dropping into the upper 40s, low 50s along the Wasatch Front. Dry conditions. High pressure ridge is going to start to build back, low 50s by tomorrow at 9 a.m. So the ridge may have flattened with the front, but it comes back full throttle, and it will impact the desert southwest, bringing in the above average warmth expected in the Beehive State and in our surrounding states, so including places like Nevada and Arizona. Will we hit records? Well, we always like to keep an eye on that. And we may not, but we are going to see our first 90s of the season in St. George. What you're looking at here in orange is the forecast high. Red is the record high, but low 90s Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow, St. George will be close with the upper 80s on deck. What about the Wasatch Front? Well, we'll see close to 70 degrees tomorrow, and then we could potentially be dealing with our first 80s of the season. Here we are into April. We were talking about spring snow last week, and now the first 80s of the year on the way. Okay, so that warmth is there. With high pressure, it acts as a storm block as well. What you're going to notice on the future cast here is that northwest flow, those arrows coming from the northwest into tomorrow. It's a brief window, and then our flow becomes southwesterly. Those red arrows kind of indicate that. But we stay dry for the next several days as we close out the work week, and that will allow temperatures to really climb. Dry, the opposite of water. Wet. As we look throughout the state, regionally, we check the water year. October 1st is when it starts. What I want you to notice here, Salt Lake and Provo are below average by more than an inch. But as you look towards Cedar City and St. George, that deficit is quite large, and that really lends itself to the drought conditions. Extreme drought in the southwestern corner of the state, 4% of Utah in the extreme drought. We've got severe drought in West Utah as well as down in southern Utah. And really, why we pay attention to this now, we move away from snowpack, we focus on the drought because this sets the stage for wildfire season. We already have dry fuels out there. Okay, so the ridge of high pressure that I told you about, it's going to impact us through the close of the work week with those warm temperatures. The winds are going to start to pick up on Saturday, and that's ahead of another cold front that's going to move in. Doesn't look like there's a tremendous amount of moisture there. That's going to be further north. We're going to notice significantly cooler temperatures. Saturday into Sunday will be the drastic change, but a lot of that moisture, well, it could only bring some isolated showers towards the Beehive State, really northern Utah. 60s for tomorrow. Close to 70 in Salt Lake, 79 in Moab, 88 in St. George. Take a check on the next 7 in Washington County. There are those 90s, first ones of the season. We could be cranking, we could be cooking, lots of sunshine there. As we look at the Wasatch Front, we also will see that jump in temperatures. Southwest flow kicks in and allows for the potential of those 80s. May not break the record, gonna be flirting with them. We do that well, 70s, turning to 50s and getting back to average with the mid to upper 50s. Sunday and Monday. It's just what a roller coaster ride.
Really?
What?
Buckle up, baby.
80s. 80s. I'm like, grab the sunnies. Where's the sun hat? I got to go have a lemonade outside.